Hey, BAKOTUNES podcast listeners, it's your host, Mr. Matt Munoz here. Hey, so check this out. I'm going to give you a little bonus episode here on the BAKOTUNES podcast, which is a segment from my other show that I have. It's called Real Talk. It's a radio show, terrestrial radio show, and podcast based out of Bakersfield, California. I do a show on Fridays, but we also have a podcast component to the terrestrial radio show. On this segment you're going to hear, this is my e-news segment with my bandmate, Cesario Garasa. We play together in Mento Brew, but he's also an entertainment columnist for the Bakersfield Californian, and we talk about all kinds of cool stuff. So if you want to follow the Real Talk podcast, you can go right down to the podcast episode info box, and I will put a link on there for you to follow that show, because you can never have enough Matt Munoz in your life. Okay, let's check this out. Thanks. Welcome back to Real Talk, and of course, it is time for E-News with
Cesario Garasa.
Welcome back to the studio.
Yeah, it's me,
Cesario.
Cesario.
Yes. How you doing, my brother?
Fantastic.
You always say that.
Yeah, I like it being
But
fantastic.
do you really feel fantastic?
Yeah, because there's two words that I think that are overly used, but I love what their definition are at the core: fantastic and wonderful. I love being full of wonder. That's why I like movies and comic books and all those kinds of things. And I love things that are fantastic, that are just above and beyond the normal.
I like the way you think. Now, you know, I posted something on Facebook talking about words and little phrases and things and, you know, value of words. I said, no disrespect. The phrase "no disrespect."
I saw that post.
Has become the new, basically, of hood.
Right.
Hood phrase offenses.
Right.
Save our streets.
Yeah.
I mean, I you know what? When somebody says no disrespect, but I'm like, no, you want to be disrespectful.
Right.
It's like no shade, but you know, it's not just me. You know, I don't. You know, I hate those.
Well, it's the whole joke behind. Oh well, I'm not a racist, but
yeah,
insert racist comment.
No disrespect, but
yeah, no, you completely. That's basically kind of like one of those things where people are going to say that in order to go, hey, I know you're going to be insulted by this, but I'm just going to tell you this anyway. So it's basically, it's so crappy because it puts the responsibility on the other person to not react. And realistically, we're all in charge of our own emotions anyways, ultimately. But it's kind of like when you're pushing those buttons of saying, hey, I don't want to push your button, but boink.
Yeah. So no disrespect, but
yeah.
Let's get to this. Let's get to e-news. All right, what you got? The lowdown, Bakersfield.com.
Yes.
It dropped yesterday.
Yes.
It's still fresh because we're heading into the weekend. Let's get to it. What
Absolutely.
you got?
It's a nice bundle of warm bread.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. No disrespect to the bread. But, you know, I wrote about three things that are happening. First of all, there's a lot of stuff happening this weekend.
This is one of those weekends. And you know what? It's going to be 70 degrees on Friday.
Oh, good
70.
Lord. Yeah, it's like
it's 70 degrees today.
Yeah, well, it's
no disrespect.
Yeah, well, no disrespect to Fridays. Sorry, Fridays. Right now, Saturday's going. Yo, what's up? And what's up?
What up, God, we're never gonna shut up.
No, this is gonna be problems here. But I mean, Sam Tripoli, Doug Benson this weekend over at the comedians, fantastic comedians. I don't if you have tickets to see them. Good luck. I hope they haven't sold out, but you can go see them. There's so much stuff happening that I couldn't write about. I just didn't have the time and the space.
But what did you write about? Let's get to that.
Three different events. Nate Parrish, who is performing tonight at Bakersfield Sound Co. in Rosedale in support of his latest single, Bad Excuse.
I've heard it.
Bad Excuses.
Yeah, Bad Excuses.
Yeah,
I love it.
Which is it's a fantastic. Fans of Face to Face, Newfound Glory, any sort of melodic, really energetic punk rock are really gonna like it.
Warped Tour
stuff, right up your alley. You know, it's if you've never seen him, he's a tall, really intimidating looking guy, long gray hair and beard, really intense, black t-shirt, black jeans.
He could be in Death Clock.
He could be in Death Clock, yes.
Death Clock, sorry.
Yes, exactly,
no.
You know. Death Clock.
I almost said it. No disrespect.
Death Clock. You know, he's in charge of his own metalocalypse. No disrespect to Death Clock or to Toki.
Yeah.
I likes him. He's good. Anyways, so
Nate Parrish with 2 R's.
Yes, and he's been around for a long time. He moved here to Bakersfield a while back, working for Resurrection Church. his wife was the music director for the church for a while, and he's just been performing with both bigger bands, and he's just been doing the solo thing.
He's got
for a
his
while.
own thing, yeah.
Absolutely. And he, I mean, the last time I saw him perform was at Punk Rock Karaoke at the Well a few months ago, and in fact, he was the very first person to sing punk rock at the Punk Rock Karaoke here in Bakersfield. I think it was a Black Flag song. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but he did a great job, and it was a great way of breaking.
He's a punk guy. He's a pop punk guy. He's a punk guy.
Yeah, he's
a rocker.
He's
got it all.
Yeah, exactly, and he's the real deal. So when he's singing about stuff and he's doing stuff, he's doing it all himself. He's just, I mean, this particular song is a collaboration with a Nashville musician, Josiah Price. And
sounds like he's from Nashville.
Yeah, he is. And well, this is the way that they did it. They would send, like, Nate writes the songs, and then he would sing the song. They would send the songs to Josiah, who would put drums on them, make arrangement things.
Yeah,
and they would
that's the way to do it.
That's to send it back and forth. So there was a lot of Zoom calls. That's what he said. It's like no trip to Nashville, just a lot of Zoom calls.
And it sounds really slick. It sounds really good. I mean, before Cesario came on the air, I told him that Nate had reached out to him. I said, hey, can you send me the track because we want to play it on the air? He's like, yeah, absolutely. Boom. Send it to me. It was right there. I was
Total
like, great.
pro. Total
this guy's
pro.
a pro.
Yeah,
so I listened to it, and I was like, man, this sounds really, really good. Because when I'd had Andres Aparicio, who you heard earlier in the show, we were talking about our memories of Warped Tour and all those things, and I started listening to it. Man, it kind of gave me the feels.
Absolutely, man. And that's telling you. And the thing is, a lot of those kids that were like, we were taking our kids to the Warped Tour. You know, literally.
That's right.
You know,
Fresno.
Fresno, and you know those they're now in their 30s, so this is like their music of their youth, and so now younger generations are being exposed to that kind of emo / screamo / punk / pop punk / indie punk kind of thing, and just want to make sure I have the name right. Josiah Prince.
Oh, not Price.
Not Price. Josiah Prince, and he's the co-producer / mixer. But
no disrespect to Josiah Price,
to any Josiah Price out there going, what's going on? See, yeah. And so but it was mastered by Darren King from the band Mute Math, which is which is great band, and that's adding to a lot to its sonic quality. But this is all part of a bigger release that I mean they've curated something like 30 songs. I think the name of the album that they're going to come out later this year for Nate is Make Me a Mountain. And fantastic. He's performing tonight with
he has his release party at Bakersfield Sound Co.
Yeah, because the single's out today on all streaming platforms. Local band Culture Machine, shout out to Granny Wheeler. They're going to be performing along with my compatriots from Los Angeles. The tickets are $15, big place.
Goes to the band. That's a fiercely independent show. Yeah, so go over there and support it.
Yeah, they've been when Narducci's closed down a few months ago. A lot of the slack of the shows went to Bakersfield Sound Co. And disclosure, I do teach drums there.
Yeah.
So
if you need lessons, you can see Cesario.
Yeah, I also teach drums at Bakersfield Music Lessons with Jay Smith, who's also performing this weekend.
Oh yeah, we'll get to Jay. Yeah. We'll get to Jay. Hold that thought.
So
Stick to Nate.
That's going to be happening tonight.
I just read the script that was given to me. I'm just a talking cat. I'm just a walking dead. Seeing you the lies that I've been fed. And all I know is all I'm told. And all I know is all I'm told. But I need another bad excuse. But I need another speech from you.
Yes, but check this out.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night,
Yes.
Saturday night, Marky Ramone
That's the third thing
is
I wrote
played
about.
as we'll get
Yep.
we'll go back to the one before
Yes.
that, but let's get to that because it's related to Nate Parrish. Nate Parrish is opening the Marky Ramone show
I
as
didn't-
well.
See, I didn't know that.
See,
I
well,
didn't know that.
if you follow the artist, excuse me, no disrespect. I read
That was no
on-
disrespect to me.
I read on Nate Parrish's Facebook. It says, dream come true or something like along the lines of that. So they're opening the show.
When I saw that, when I was looking at Nate Parrish's page, I didn't get to that post.
Oh,
Didn't
yeah.
get
No,
to that
I
part.
was like, I know, because I interviewed Marky Ramone. We had him last week on
Right.
Real Talk and everything like that. And I was like, what's missing? Nate Parrish. But I was looking around for it. But you have
Yeah.
to go to Nate Parrish's page, and then when you scroll way down, it says plus guest Nate Parrish. But it's not on like the flyers that Numbskull did. Yeah.
Or on the ticket sites that you go on
So
to.
if you're going to see Marky Ramone, you're going to be Rambo'd by the Nate Parrish band.
Which I'm pretty sure the reason
gonna be
why they didn't really want to advertise it that much was because they don't want to take away from people going to the show tonight.
Well, if
So-
you're busy on Friday, you go catch him on Saturday. I'm
Right.
sure he's going to have his merch. The main thing is
Right.
you support
absolutely.
Nate some way, so you can go stream it and all that stuff.
And besides
It'll be
that, we only have 4 opportunities to see an actual Ramone perform
Mm-hmm.
in concert.
Yeah.
This is Marky Ramone. Marky Ramone's been was the final drummer for the Ramones, and he played with the band for the better part of 18 years. He played with them from 78, 79 through 83, and then rejoined from 87 all the way up
Yeah.
to
And he
stopped
was
in
given.
96.
He was pretty much given the gig by Tommy Ramone.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the
he was like,
the
"Here."
one that took over for Tommy.
Yeah.
When Tommy went and started producing more of their albums. So if you saw Rock and Roll High School, in fact, for most of us, Marky's the guy that we saw as the
I
drummer.
know. Yeah, Road to
You know,
Ruin. From Road to Ruin, those 4 albums. I mean, the Phil Spector.
Yeah, all those
You know.
through all of that. Plus, when he came back, he came back on Brain Drain, which was the album that had Pet Sematary on it, their biggest hit.
Yeah.
and
No,
love
he's
that.
I mean, as a drummer, how do you see him?
Well, it depends. If we're talking about the Ramones and the stuff that he did, he was
And and even before that,
when he was
Richard
playing
Hell,
with the Voivods. Yeah,
Voivods.
he was fantastic. He's a fantastic, straightforward, just straight from a pistol, just straight up fantastic punk rock drummer. He's got more than anything else, he's got a great feel and he's got a great sound. And the sounds are different. I mean, the kind of stuff the kind of sounds that he had when he was playing back in the 70s with Richard Hell, the sounds that he had with the Ramones all the way up into the 80s, they all kind of mirrored the best parts of what those songs needed to be. He really was the one that kind of solidified the Ramones in terms of like the visual memory for anybody growing up in the 80s. and
He
the
did the
90s.
US Festival with them too.
Yeah,
Like, he was there
yeah.
during that time.
Yeah, and it's like he had his own personal problems. That's why his own personal issues. That's why he left the band in the first place. Fun fact: they actually had when their replacement, when the drummer who replaced Marky, when he left, they brought in Clem Burke from Blondie to be the replacement, and he went under the name Elvis Ramone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Elvis Ramone lasted 2 gigs. And
I
they
read that.
fired him. So it's because he couldn't keep up with the songs. He's used to Blondie. He's not used to, and I'm sure working for Johnny Ramone was no picnic. You're playing too slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Get out of here, loser.
One of the things that Marky Ramone said was that, because I asked him, like, when you listen to the live albums, and it's just 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's going super duper
Right,
fast, and they're
yeah.
cramming all the songs. And he goes, "Well, that was kind of the decision of the band." He goes, "I wanted to go regular speed." He's like, we kind of went through those phases, but like I think Loco Live, he said that was kind of peak speed.
Yeah.
Because it was like the kids were there was a lot of kids that was kind of going through that transition.
Right.
So fast. But what I was looking at some of the more recent, like Marky Ramone and the Blitzkrieg, which is touring band now, which is going
Right.
to be at Temblor. They have them at the actual speed of the songs,
Yeah, that's kind of like when
which is like what you like. You like
Yeah.
you like what you as a drummer. I know you like to keep them the tempo of the songs that were written.
because that two reasons. One, because it unlocks the jukebox in the person's head that's listening to it, because it sounds like the record, as opposed to being, if you have a song that's just a little bit pushed, then you have the energy, but it doesn't sound like the song anymore. So that's a trade-off. It's like you either want it to sound like the song or you want to have the energy for it. But somewhere there's a law of diminishing returns where if the tempo's wrong or too slow, it's wrong, and if it's too fast, then that's you can't connect.
But what if you have so many hits? You only have so much time.
Then you do what the Rolling Stones did, and you make a medley.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking about
I know.
where they're doing like 10 seconds of 23 songs, one after the other. I mean, that's what we do with
So
children.
Brown Sugar, Honky Tonk Woman, like
Yeah,
they,
all
you know,
of
they
them.
all sound the same.
They're just one after the other. It's like, but there's a fine line between a really good medley and a Stars on 45.
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of medley
Boom,
where it's
clap, boom, clap, boom, clap,
The
boom,
Beatles.
clap, boom,
Sugar,
clap,
dun,
boom,
dun,
clap,
dun,
boom,
dun.
clap,
Oh,
boom,
that was
clap.
Archie.
Cotton Eye Joe, boom, clap. Oh,
Exactly.
no disrespect.
Baby,
Okay.
you can drive my car. All that stuff. Shout out 1981.
Oh,
so,
man.
but anyways,
Yes.
going back to Marky Ramone was in 1981. So during the 80s, I mean, as a drummer, he's solid. He's inventive, but he plays exactly what the band's needed. So I don't know if he's if he has the ability of a Neil Peart or somebody like that from Rush.
Yeah.
But he did such a great job performing to the spirit and the feel of what those bands needed, whether it was a little crazier or it was just more direct. And the thing, like I said, it's like you don't know how much longer we're going to have these guys. Marky Ramone's 71 years old.
Yeah.
So we don't know how many more of these shows he has under him, maybe forever, as far as we know. But, I mean, if he still has enough spirit to kind of like spar with Johnny Rotten,
Yeah,
just a few years ago.
He keeps, what I got from him is, he says he knows what he should do as far as like exercise to keep his body in shape. He's
Yeah.
like, no weights. It's just cardio.
That's it.
And he goes, I play drums 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm on my bike. That's
That,
enough.
but then that's a lot of cardio.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of getting your air pumping and your muscles moving and everything else like that. It's very athletic, the drums, and also very therapeutic too. So that's another thing that's probably kept him okay.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
that's going to be a fun show. So
Yeah,
if you can make
Saturday.
it out there, go Saturday.
Yeah.
You can catch Nate Parrish and Marky Ramone.
Absolutely.
But you also go Friday. Go support Nate over there.
support Nate,
Yeah. Go or go to both.
Go to both.
What else you got going on?
Go see a Ramone, punk rock Beatle.
Yeah.
And just have a good weekend.
Yeah.
The other
Go
thing,
and slice a pizza.
it's great stuff.
Have some nachos.
Yeah,
El Cerrito.
I like the tumbler nachos are really good.
Yeah?
I really dig them. The queso is really fun. This is fantastic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All right, let's get back to the
the,
lowdown.
the next one will be happening on March 5th, which is a Tuesday, which is the second writers round over
Oh,
at
yes.
Poorhouse. The last one had J.J.
For
Brown.
fans of The Voice.
Yes, which we'll
get to that.
get into that.
Okay.
So J.J. Brown, the last one that happened last year, was more country oriented with I call them Young Lions. Joe Peters, Devin Brinsfield, and J.J. Brown. All of them from either Bakersfield or Central Valley, and they're doing fantastic.
So what are they doing? They're
Fantastic
just
music.
like, I just wrote this.
Yeah, well, that's basically that's what it is. It's a bunch of guys performing their songs and giving the stories of how these songs were made, and kind of like the combustible point to where the songs actually showed up. I mean, if anybody that saw the Beatles documentary Get Back and seeing Paul McCartney starting on Get Back, and just writing it, and I think it was called Get Back, the one that Peter Jackson did.
Oh yeah, Get Back. Yeah.
So
and they're writing them.
and he's writing the song, and you can hear him going, and he's slowly coming and figuring out the chords. So you see a song coming to life right there. Those are fascinating times. That's when you kind of like start seeing the lightning happen. The electricity crackle, and so these guys give you a heads up. The last one was country with those three. This one's a little bit more Americana kind of. I called it Americana.
Mumfording.
Yeah,
Just playing.
more Americana soul. Soulful
rootsy.
I call it soulful Americana, which is like
Laurel Canyon.
Well, because Jim and John.
Yeah, I know.
They were not so much.
Well,
Laurel
they
Canyon.
have a church background, so
Yeah,
it's
so
going
they're-
to be a little bit of country gospelish.
Yeah, absolutely, and but also mixed in with a little bit of blues and jazz, which is.
Is there going to
kind
be
of-
a Fender Rhodes involved?
I don't know, but but I do know that the third person that they have over there, his name is Ryan Berg, not Brian. Ryan Berg. He's kind of coming from the same school of that churchy kind of. I don't know if he's affiliated with playing with church, but he's kind of has a little more jazz jazzy contemporary kind of voice. It almost reminds me a little bit of kind of like if he's taken his approach of like a more blues-based Jeff Buckley. And so that's kind of where he's coming from. There's some like jazzy kind of elements to it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with both of the other.
So it's going to be
two
song
brothers.
storytellers. The Ranger brothers are going to be doing their thing, and this guy.
Which is funny because like if you're out any weekend, chances are you're going to see John Ranger performing. Jim Ranger is the one that was on season 19 of The Voice, who got the runner-up. I mean, he got second place.
He got the key to the city from Karen Go.
Yeah, well, he deserved it. He deserved it.
He was in Soulja.
Yeah, he's got.
Well, that was because remember
Yes,
he was on American Idol.
Yes.
And then he was on The Voice.
Yes, he was, and he got all the way up to second place.
And he's sung the national anthem at the Laker game.
I think the last
Him and
song,
his mom.
if I can remember correctly, I think the last song he sung was "Streets of Bakersfield."
Uh-huh.
On the show. So yeah, he's so the thing is, John is not as well known. John is not as well known as Jim, but they both have really incredible talent. They're both incredibly good performers, and they both write very good songs. So they're kind of like neck and neck when it comes to artists in that particular.
Well, that's
context.
kind of what they do. I mean, they're worship leaders, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
At least
I know John, and so you know what's funny is that so the first time I saw John sing before Jim because John was the singer for Soulja. And then when he left, Jim became the singer for Soulja.
Yeah. So the Rangers, the Rangers came in, and I've performed with John many times, not playing with him, but playing shows with him. You know, when I was playing Crimson Sky and yada yada. Sometimes with Jay Smith, and fantastic. You know, and he's also very straightforward dude. He has no fear about what he's talking about. So that comes through when he's singing. You know, when he's saying sing hallelujah, he means it, you know? So, that's going to be really, really cool.
Hallelujah, a song that has been misinterpreted many, many ways.
Not that particular song.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Not Jeff Buckley, hallelujah.
Okay.
Not
Leonard Cohen.
Leonard Cohen, hallelujah, covered by Jeff Buckley, but you know, he's just like the lyrics. He sings in one of the songs. But
let's just say the word.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
But
sorry, Leonard.
He's just out there smoking a cigarette and drinking coffee, going, "Don't take it." I don't. These things are beneath me.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm more of a praise the Lord guy. Hallelujah, but that's just me. Don't disrespect.
It's completely. I find my song overrated.
Okay, so that's
sick
going
of
down.
that song.
When's that go? Where is that going down and when?
And that's going to be happening at the Poorhouse on Tuesday, March 5th. The food there is amazing. Very, very good.
Is Lino's?
Yeah. Lino's
So
is
it's
there.
Lino's Kitchen.
It's Lino's Kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, who owns the Poorhouse?
Joe Peters.
Peters, yes.
He's one of the co-owners there.
Yeah.
And so, but they also, one other thing, they have a nice stage there in the backyard. Very nice, covered patio, the whole deal. They really made it.
So it's like the
good
Ethels
deal.
of the Southwest?
No, Ethels is more like just a concrete ground that you plug into the back, and you just kind of play and
Don't step in the water and shock yourself.
This one's actually like if anything, it's more kind of like a Rosedale mini fish lips. You know, the only thing they don't have though is they don't have the full. I don't think they have a full PA. We had it, so it's like. But I think that's the next thing that they should really take a step in along with the lights. If they did that, it would actually be probably one of the best stages in town.
Excellent. Okay, so you go to Bakersfield.com,
Yes.
you read Cesario's Lowdown.
Yes.
You'll get everything that we just talked about in that segment. The story about Nate Parrish, his song Bad Excuses, his upcoming shows at Bakersfield Sound Co. tonight, and opening up for Marky Ramone. I just told Cesario about that right now. So if you go to the Marky Ramone show, which Cesario previews in there,
Yeah, a lot of words. A lot of words.
Previews in there. You will
Cardio.
see Nate Parrish.
That's it, yeah.
And then you can get information about the songwriters thing that's going on
the Writers
in
Round-
March. Writers Roundup in March.
Produced by Nash West Productions, Lauren
Yes.
Appleton and Kyle Appleton.
Yeah,
so
if they
they're
were
taking care of
to do a ska album, it would be the Scapletons.
the Scop.
Scapletons.
No disrespect.
No disrespect to the Appletons or to ska, but hey, that's the world we live in.
Facts.
Save our streets.
Facts.
No disrespect. All right,
Facts.
now let's freestyle here.
Okay,
So what are some other things that are going on
So
this weekend that
speaking
we
of-
missed?
Speaking of The Voice, I mean, the 24th, and Rudy Paris is going to be over at
18th Street Cafe.
Free. You know, he was on The Voice as well.
Yeah.
Blake Shelton's team as well.
And guess what song he blew it with? And we could say this because Rudy was in our band, and
Yeah.
we're good friends with him, and I always had to tease him about it. Why did you pick that horrible song to get kicked off the Voice.
Was it-
That's why you got kicked off the Voice, because you sang that horrible song.
What was it?
You had a bad day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rudy.
I mean, he
Oh,
we've seen him sing.
Yeah.
Like Merle Haggard.
John Anderson.
John Anderson. He could have picked any
Yeah.
other song.
Yep.
But I think a lot of times I'm sure that it's probably just pressure from the producers and the people that they want to hear, or more than likely they have some sort of deal with the songwriters or the publishing companies where they have a certain amount of songs that they have to sing or certain kinds.
Who's the guy?
So-
Okay, what? Please look up who wrote that song, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, he performed at the Fox Theater. I remember.
Oh, who's it? It's not. It wasn't
interviewing him.
Edwin McCain.
I think that's
Yeah.
him.
But so Rudy Paris, like what really made him known, really got everybody's attention.
Daniel Powder.
Daniel Powder was when he did Every Breath You Take.
Yeah, no, he
And
did
they all turned
fantastic.
around, they got it.
Yeah,
So
he-
that was great.
Well, because he did a really good version
Mm-hmm.
of his own style of it, and they heard, ooh, different. The thing about judges that was having this conversation a while back is when you're dealing with something as subjective as what sounds good in music, it depends on what kind of ears you're listening to. Are you listening to it from promoter ears, producer ears, or artist ears? If you're listening to it from promoter ears, how marketable is this? How new is this? If you're listening to it from producer's ears, how powerful is this? How sellable is this? You know, how good is this? How new is this? And if you're looking at it from artistic ears, it's how does it make me feel? Does it sound new? And all three of those involved, does this sound fresh? Does this sound new? And it was new. It was fresh. So when it came to everybody else, and you're competing, and everybody else is on that same train now going, oh, we've seen new. Now we're competing against that. And then you do something that's not new.
Yeah. Who was it? Who
Yeah.
was the one who won that year that Rudy was in there?
I don't remember. I can't even tell you who won the year Jim Ranger performed. You know, so but that's the thing about these kind of like the mythical like winners of years past, like the Fantasias and the well, I don't think Fantasia won.
No, she didn't win.
Oh,
did she?
I think she did.
I think she did.
She did,
Yeah.
or you know,
Was she in The Color Purple?
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
in
she
The Color
was.
Purple movie,
Yeah.
which is on Max.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that.
It is, and that's on the list because I'm doing
Yeah.
I'm doing the last.
Oh, by the
dash.
way, we saw Bottoms.
But yeah,
Oh, loved it.
isn't
loved
it?
it.
Isn't it?
Loved it.
Isn't it a nutty movie?
It's a hilarious
yeah.
movie.
By the time they get to the football field at the end of the movie, it's
Yeah.
like this movie
It was
is awful.
hilarious. But you
just
should watch
crazy.
it. You should watch it out there.
Yeah.
This week it's also the 20th anniversary of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, and I remember when we saw it for the first time. I rented it out. They had it was I got it from one of the rental places in town. It had a bunch of copies of this movie. I'm like, I wonder when they
Did
have
you trade
so many of
it
these
at
copies.
Marbles when you used to go to Marbles?
No, I think this was just a straight up Hollywood video.
You
No,
traded your copy of Little Half Dead's album for to rent.
along
Napoleon
with
Dynamite.
like 3 copies of Spin Doctor's Pocket Full of Dynamite. Yeah, Marble. For those of you who don't know, Marbles used to be this video rental place on the corner of Wilson and Weibel.
Yeah.
And it also sold used CDs, and it had just this insane amount.
Places like that where it came in a clutch if you
Yeah.
needed groceries and you lived in a crappy apartment like
Yeah.
we both did at the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, there's Tacos Mexico across the street.
Yeah, and
if
there's
I
a
could
Texaco.
if I can just get $5
Yep.
for this stack of CDs, I'm good for 2 days.
Well, what they would do is they would trade in. So I would have like all these demo versions of songs, or the demo copies of CDs that I'd have from Blockbuster when we worked at Blockbuster Music, and I'd trade them in and for rentals or for other albums. And,
get some new ones.
yeah, and and they would have all this underground like Little Half Dead,
Yeah.
and like and the thing is, you know how much that album's going for? It's like almost $100. Seriously, it's an out of print collector's item. So, but they'd have a lot of the usual suspects, and they would. Then it just kept, because the market shrunk.
Yeah.
So did the store, and then it just eventually went out.
Yeah,
of
it was
business.
just gone. But
Yeah.
those are fun times to go because
Oh,
you
yeah.
never know what you were going to find. In
Oh,
some
absolutely.
Of those places.
And I think that what was happening though, since nobody really knew about the place, all the albums that were new were mine.
Yeah.
So it's like the new releases were all my new releases. So I'd come in there to check. Did
I know
anybody
it's
bring
all
anything else?
it's all marbles, and then the little sign at the bottom. It's like by Cesario Garasa.
Yeah, exactly. This is thank you for calling Cesario CD Shop. That kind of thing. But the other thing that we saw one. Besides all of the movies that I have on the list, that for the Oscars that I need to watch. My wife Elisa and I saw One Love a couple of nights ago over at the
and it's okay
Movie
if we
Grill.
tell if you there's no little spoilers because I've already seen all the documentaries and I'm very well versed in Bob Marley, but just like, is it worth watching?
I think so, but it's one of those movies like the Santana documentary that we saw, or Bohemian Rhapsody, that's done under the guidance and I don't know if it's guidance, but it's definitely from people that want to preserve his memory as best as they can. So, like, the movie starts off with Ziggy Marley saying, "Hello, man," and he's talking about how the everybody was there to make sure that it was accurate as possible. But Paul Perez, our band leader, he told me about the movie that night, and he said that he saw it, and I was kind of like, what, we were going to watch it anyways, but what he said was, it's a love story, and it really is, and
lots of love,
whole
lot of love.
That's the thing, is because when you have, it's the Bob Marley's infidelities were pretty well universally known, and the thing is, it's kind of hinted at and just really subtly. It's like they do a montage of like them on tour, right? But they don't really show it happening, and then just very quickly, there's a shot of a door opening and a beautiful woman on the other side, and that kind of infers we don't know who it is, but we kind of have an idea who's opening up that door, and then
you hear Q. But
Could you be loved?
that album, it's basically it doesn't do Bob Marley's entire life. It zeroes in on one particular part of his life. It starts off
chapter.
It starts off with the peace concert that he started off in Jamaica, the one that started with
where he got shot. So this is it start where after he got shot?
No, it starts with that.
Okay.
And it starts off with him. It kind of delves in and out of his life, but it's really about the relationship between him and Rita Marley, and his kids, and that's Ratman, and his writing, and it's very drama. It's very heavily. There's melodrama, but it's not really syrupy. It's done really well. It's balanced really well. But the thing is, it's right in line with Walk the Line, the Johnny Cash biopic. It's right in line with Ray. It's right in line with Bohemian Rhapsody or Rocket Man. Really well constructed, carefully curated, and supervised, well acted. The lead actor who plays Bob Marley reminded me of Marcos. I don't know why he looked like Santana reminds me of Marcos. This guy reminds me of Marcos Reyes. His face, but he has the Jamaican patois down.
Yeah.
And
he was a Brit, right?
Yeah,
this guy was a Brit.
Yeah, and so it kind of delves a little bit into how the violence that was going on in Jamaica at the time and the unrest, and it ends with the peace concert that he did when he returned from Jamaica from living in England. So it's this little circle of time, about a year, maybe 2 years, 3 years.
So is it around the Exodus album?
No, it's about the making of Exodus.
The Exodus. So that was his peak. That was like they went to open. They went on tour with the Commodores, and the Commodores they just kicked him off the tour because it was like, well, people are coming to see Bob. Like he finally broke.
Yeah, I mean,
Could You Be Loved? That was it. That was the song.
There's a whole thing about that, and a whole you'll see it. But anyways, but the thing is though, these kinds of, again, it's like the same thing with the Selena TV series that they had on Netflix a while back that was produced by her family members, her brother and her sister. They're very curated to kind of, except that one was more about, well, what about us? So that was more about them than it really was about Selena. But these movies are curated for one thing, and what they tend to do is they try to mythologize the person. Now, at one point in the movie, they do address Rita's and Bob Marley's infidelities and who they are to each other, and the way that, but it's like there's Bob Marley doesn't. It's like, if anything, it really focuses on Rastafarianism.
Yeah,
it really is. It's like the first. It's like if there's Christian movies, this is the first big time Rastafari movie.
So you'll understand, like, okay, if the people that were around Bob Marley, they were very true believers in Rastafarianism. Now, I'm not well versed in it, so I don't really know.
Neither.
But them knowing that, and I've seen the documentaries, because when it comes to the infidelities, which are such a big part of the story, I mean, and they got to keep his memory alive, because the kid's got to be taken care of. Everybody, he left a lot of people to be taken care of, and I'm sure they are all being very well taken care of. But I'm sure there's a lot of fighting behind the scenes. You just can't have like all these siblings and all these baby mamas without that.
And you will never see a documentary about that, because two things: one, it's too real, and two, the family. I don't think but
see, that's the thing. It's like when the Catch a Fire book came out, and so and then I think Rita Marley came out with her own book, and you started to learn that side about Bob Marley's life, and you're just like, you know what? You just want to. What made you love him more was that he was as human as anybody else. Because when you didn't know who Bob Marley was, before all the book came out, Catch a Fire book and all that, you just thought he was just kind of like this prophet. But the thing about it was that he was just human as you and I.
And I read that book. As well too. And you're absolutely right, because one of the things that I always found really that they don't really talk about in this movie is that he refused care. They mention a little bit, but he refused care about his cancer until it was way too late. Right? It's like he was just like, no, John will take care of me, and and then until it was like, oh no, you are dying. In which case he's like, you know what? Yeah, maybe I should do something about it. But by that point, it was too late. Yeah. So it's those kinds of things that they don't really talk about. Which brings me to think about, well, what are the most effective biopics that there are? And I immediately went to like Schindler's List, right, or Oppenheimer, which are dramatized, biography pictures of certain people, but they represent a bigger theme or a bigger time or a bigger event, the Holocaust, or the creation of the atomic bomb, changing the 20th century, changing all these things, changing the course and trajectory of history and of humanity. And these are about people that are at the center of that. And the thing that I find about these music biopics, or even about actor biopics, like think about Wired, but the John Belushi one, is that they concentrate on the person while trying to maintain a respectful kind of mythology of the person that they're trying to talk about. Because the people that are creating the movie or behind it, that are making the decisions creatively, they don't want to let loose and just be like, this is not what it is. We don't want to let people know too much about this. No, we don't want him to be too real. Yeah. That's why when you watch a movie like Sid and Nancy, which is a biopic about Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen from the Sex Pistols, it's devastating, because it's not about Sid and Nancy. It's about addiction. It's about the way addiction spirals, and then you don't even recognize who you are, and it leads to death. It can lead to death. And that's why I find those so effective. So to me, what did this movie achieve what it wanted to do? Yes, it achieved the tone of holding Bob Marley and his legacy in a respectful tone and mythologizing the person that they're actually covering. But what it didn't do, and by in effect doing exactly what it wanted to do, what it didn't delve into the really difficult stuff that makes a person bigger. Plus, or really using Bob Marley as a focal point to talk about things in general. Unrest, one love. Yeah, they use these things as, in lowercase resonance in terms of what's happening now, but they don't really plant the landing and giving us a bigger idea of the bigger picture.
And I've heard that Peter Tosh's segments were removed from the movie.
He's not in the movie.
He's not. What about Bunny? Bunny Wailer? No, so none of the Whalers. So
the Whalers.
It's post Whalers. The Whalers as we knew it.
Kind of. They show him as part of the Wailing Wailers when they record Simmer Down in a scene that's so reminiscent of the Sun Studios Walk the Line scene. You're telling me that's the song you would sing when you're I want you to sing me a song that if you were on the ground dying, that if you only had a few minutes left of life, that you would sing to God. And it kind of does that. Yeah. It kind of turns a little.
And it's Cox and Dodd is in the film, right?
Yeah,
the producer.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I want to see
for just a little bit. But again, it's like if you know who these characters are after reading or knowing about the history of Studio One, then you know who they are, and so you're bringing your own subtext to it. For most people that are just kind of watching the movie that don't really know, that might not even know where Jamaica is, they're just going to be entertained as a pretty a pretty decent love story, and a story of challenges. But at the same time, it's limited. It's limited. It's so yeah.
So how many? Let me see. How many chili dogs sprinkled with?
I would.
With that was let me see. Chili dogs, but they have jerk chicken.
Yeah.
Flavored chili dogs. How
Like-
many?
I mean, it's really close because it's teetering towards 4 because I enjoy the subject matter so much. The soundtrack's amazing. Of course, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it's like I can't help but watch this movie and think they're selling me something.
Mhm.
I'm being advertised
Yeah.
Bob Marley as opposed to getting an idea of who Bob Marley actually was. And so that to me puts it at 3 chili dogs. But I will say this: it's 3 chili dogs with cheese.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Excellent. So you go see One Love, the Bob Marley story. Okay. Now to wrap this up.
Yep.
As promised, our brother Jay. We have to tell everybody
Yep.
if you want to support another local show, Saturday, February the 24th, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
At
the
Nile
Nile
Theater.
Yep.
You got the Axon
Orchestra.
Orchestra,
Yep.
the J. Smith Group,
And Ghost Dance.
Ghost Dance, along with Waxaholics Anonymous.
Yep.
Love that name. Doors open at 6, shows at 7, $20 general admission, $30 VIP. I wonder what that means. You
I
get to
did-
hang out with Jay?
I think there's some no. There's actually some seating kind of over to the right that's designated. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
All right, so Jay, hope you're listening, and
Yeah.
that is brought to you by the Mothership.
Yeah,
our
they
friend
get-
Sabrina Saber.
Yeah, and I'll be
yeah.
performing with Jay.
Oh, you'll be
Yeah.
you'll see Cesario.
Yeah, you'll see me
Are
there.
you gonna run over see Marky Ramone?
I'm gonna try to. Because I mean, my thing is after it's as much as I want to see Marky Ramone, I almost need to just get some sleep.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
exhausted.
So go check out Cesario's Lowdown at
Uh-huh.
Bakersfield.com. Man, that was a great lowdown. That was a great segment, e-news segment. Oh, if you missed it, which maybe you did, but hopefully you didn't, but you want to relive this magic, you can go and check it out on the Real Talk podcast. Right now, just go to Spotify, Apple, Pandora, iHeart, Deezer, all that stuff, and look up the Real Talk podcast and search until you find it. I think I'm going to call this e-news No Disrespect.
No disrespect.
Yes.
No disrespect at all. But and if you want to read my article, you can find it on Bakersfield.com, or if you can get the TBC app, TBC mobile app, and you can just go ahead and check that out. Or maybe you can find some dilapidated gas stations that probably have Thursday's edition hanging around somewhere.
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you, Cesario. All right. We
pleasure.
will be right back to wrap this up, this edition of Real Talk. No disrespect.
No disrespect to new sounds.